So I wanted to talk about what it feels like for me to go to a plantation. I wasn't really going to talk about this because I've talked about it extensively on Instagram, but I'm going to. If you don't know what's been going on in the historical costuming community lately, it's been a lot of mess. But I just wanted to touch on a really big thing that has been going on that personally affects Black people. And I, as a Black people, feel like I have room to talk about it. On Juneteenth, there was a meetup of some costumers who went to Colonial Williamsburg, which is a former plantation, and they dressed up and had picnics and frolicked and had fun dressed as former enslavers on a former plantation. This past weekend, there was an event in Kentucky for the Jane Austen Fest where people did what? The same thing. The same thing. People learned nothing. Now, I'm not actually mad at the locations. They provided plenty of education for folks, but people willfully did not go there, did not speak to the educators, did not attend events, because I don't know why. And when I say people, I mean white people. Now, I'm not knocking Black costumers or even BIPOC costumers because, I mean, let's be honest, Black people weren't the only people who were slaves on these plantations. I understand reclaiming that pain for yourself. I totally get it, and I say more power to you. I live in a place with a lot of plantations. There are literally plantations 15 minutes away from me in every single direction. It is a lot for me to go to a plantation. Every single time I've gone to a plantation, I've either cried or nearly cried. It's like I can feel the weight of the ancestors that I feel connected to, whether or not we were related, which there is no way to know. We might have been, but whether or not we are related, I feel that connection to them. And it is a painful connection. Even if some of the enslaved people had a miraculous time at this former plantation, even if their stories ended joyfully, I know that wasn't the case for most. I know that slavery didn't just end in 1865 with Juneteenth. Slavery is still legal in America. You should check that out. Google that. It was never outlawed officially. And Black people still deal with the ramifications of slavery. Slavery isn't just over for us. Now, obviously, I can't speak for all Black people, but holding an event at a plantation does not welcome me to that event because I know that there will be white costumers dressed as enslavers at the event. And I think my question is why? Why is there a need to dress up at a site that human trafficking took place, at a site where people were murdered, were tortured, where families were split up, where Heartbreak Day was celebrated literally every year, where people fought tooth and nail to hold people in bondage? Why is this a place where people feel the need to dress up? What is the appeal of romanticizing someone else's trauma? When we shot our Cicely Tyson video, we shot it at a plantation, and we had to park at the slave quarters, which is where enslaved people were meant to stay, as families, sometimes just as strangers who got to unfortunately know each other. That's where people would stay. They would stay in these houses and these dwellings and these quarters because it was a quarter of a house. We had to walk from the quarters through the fields to the big house, to the main house, to the plantation's house that the human traffickers would have lived in. And it was a lot because I knew that that was the path that people took every day without hope. I knew that that was the path that children made their first step to have a lifetime of pain and strife. a lifetime of uncertainty, a lifetime of torture, and in many cases, a violent death. I knew the importance of going there and dressing up for this educational video, but it was still hard, and I was dressed as an enslaved person. I could not imagine being white and being dressed as an enslaver. So I guess my second question is, how do you expect us to come to the table as BIPOC, AAPI, and SWANA historical costumers when the sites of our trauma, the people of our past, the slurs that have been co-opted by some white costumers as a token of appreciation, how do you expect us to sit at that table? It's not an open invitation. It brings about trauma for us. If you look forward to events at plantations and all you think about is the fun that you're going to have and the people you're going to meet up and how exciting it's going to be to get to see your friends, I want you to ask yourself why you feel like that. Why does the location of someone else's generational trauma seem like a fun place to party? Normally we try to do pretty fun videos, and I think we do a pretty good job at that, but this is something that needs to be addressed. And I'm very happy that there have been a lot of allies who have been addressing this here and on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm very, very thankful for you, but I wanted to address it as my perspective as one singular Black person. Thank you for watching, sincerely. If you made it to the end and now you're going to ask yourself those hard questions, thank you for watching. If you want more educational content, we post a lot of text posts and a lot of videos on Instagram that are way more educational and way more detailed than we can get on YouTube because it's not just video format. So I definitely say check those out. The links will be in the description box below. Until next time.